High school at one time.
Tyrus.
What I saw.
Yeah.
What it looked to me like he was negotiating with a deaf prostitute.
Governor Gavin Newsom is now calling his city's homeless encampments unacceptable, which is odd since he's the guy who, made them acceptable, turning sidewalks into red carpet events for drug addicts, thieves, and unemployed CNN anchors.
Imagine tuning in, expecting a serious political showdown, and instead, chaos breaks loose before your eyes. Gutfeld and Tyrus didn't just debate, they detonated the room, turning the stage into a fiery battleground of sarcasm and truth. The target, Gavin Newsom, polished, confident, and completely unprepared for the verbal ambush that awaited him. This wasn't polite commentary, it was a full-blown televised execution, dressed up as late-night comedy. Gutfeld and Tyrus didn't merely criticize Newsom, they dismantled him piece by piece. His policies were shredded like old paperwork, his image mocked until only ashes remained. Every punchline hit harder than the last, leaving his reputation smoldering in the ruins of what used to be
here on this table called this first is that to get any action done, you may have to get the politician to feel the pain of their own policies intimately, and he got it right in the gut. Because I predicted In-N-Out was going to be the catalyst because it's his family's favorite restaurant. And when In-N-Out closed, that was a direct shot at him because you could BS the public, but you can't BS your kids who are now wishing he had gotten recalled because they could have their burger. The intensity of pain that a public endures is based on the time that it takes the Democrats to start acting like Republicans.
Gutfeld came in swinging like a man with nothing left to lose, and Tyrus, he unleashed the kind of pent-up fury that only years of silent frustration could build. It was raw, it was unfiltered, and it was shocking to watch unfold on live TV. You could feel the tension crackle through the studio as the audience laughed nervously while the crew exchanged wide-eyed glances. Somewhere behind the scenes, Newsom's PR team was probably already typing apology drafts for scandals that hadn't even happened yet. The blows were merciless, each joke slicing deeper than the last until it felt personal. It was as if Gutfeld and Tyrus had been waiting their entire careers for this exact moment, and Gavin Newsom had finally wandered into the ring. Skyrocketing homelessness became their rally cry, and the energy in that room, electric.
Watch the tape.
Yes!
He literally goes, I want some of this, then you do some of this, and I'll do some of that back to you, and then we'll do this, and then I'll pay you, and then we'll do it again.
True.
And then she kept saying, no. Okay, how about this? You do this one first, then we do this one, then we give a little back and forth.
If you're enjoying this takedown, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Vanishing businesses, crumbling streets, and that unmistakable smirk that screams, I'm doing just fine while everything burns. It was all on full display. This wasn't politics anymore. It was an exorcism of California's chaos, and Gavin Newsom was the demon being dragged into the light. The tension was thrilling, every jab landing like a confession the audience didn't know they needed to hear. And there he was, Gavin Newsom, the so-called golden boy of California, polished to perfection, lost in fantasies of his presidential destiny. His confidence shimmered like fool's gold, shiny on the surface, but hollow underneath.
Cities to ban the camps from sidewalks, parks, and other public areas. So after years of denying the problem, he's now pretending to fix it, which is like putting on a condom as you're leaving a whorehouse. Who hasn't?
What's a condom?
But as always, when a far-left Dem runs for national office, he acts like a Republican. This is where the left is really pro-trans. Suddenly, they grow balls.
Out of nowhere, Greg Gutfeld and Tyrus launched a verbal ambush that could only be described as a political drive-by on live television. The atmosphere shifted instantly. You could almost hear the studio gasp as the two tore into Newsom with a vengeance. This wasn't witty banter. It was a full-blown rhetorical mugging, and the audience could hardly believe what they were seeing. They stripped away his polished facade, like peeling off a luxury store label, revealing the smugness underneath. Gutfeld didn't hold back, firing line after line with a precision that hit harder than any debate ever could, while Tyrus brought the kind of presence that made every word feel like a body blow. It was raw, ruthless, and impossible to look away. Newsom's aura of control evaporated, replaced by the stunned silence of a man realizing that charm can't save you when truth walks into the room swinging.
You can't, it's not his words when he speaks.
Yeah.
You have to watch him closely. And some genius decided not to film him any lower than the shoulder.
Yes, did you? Yes.
So what did he do?
You couldn't see the hands.
No, but he sent Morse code.
Yes.
Go back and watch it. Look at the blinking. Blink, look. Meet me at the house. Like, he's blinking. He's sending, I'm getting there. Hey, just so you know, I'm not wearing pants.
His slick smile faltered. That polished confidence melted away, and the illusion shattered in real time. Gutfeld and Tyrus didn't just question him. They obliterated his act with the precision of executioners who'd been waiting years for this very night. It wasn't just brutal, it was biblical in scale. Newsom, the self-styled poster boy of progress, suddenly looked like a walking campaign commercial gone wrong. All glitter, no gold. He sipped his daily dose of double-shot hypocrisy, wrapped neatly in smug condescension, while preaching about equality. The man talks equity, yet dines in places half of California can't even afford to park near. And then enter Greg Gutfeld, not with a microphone, but with a metaphorical baseball bat labeled facts. Right behind him stormed Tyrus, wielding a sledgehammer called reality. Together, they didn't just challenge Newsom's story, they obliterated it in front of millions.
Gavin ponders why Dems lost.
We lost. We lost the popular vote, and we lost the electoral vote. We got crushed, and we need to be humble about that, and we need to have some grace.
Yes.
Was it because of Israel? Yes. Interest rates? Yes. Too woke? Yes. It's like every bad policy that trickled up to the White House during the Biden administration started in California. That state is responsible for the worst politicians in modern history. And he is at the top of the list, and there are some ignoramuses on that list.
Then came the turning point, the moment when laughter turned sharp and jokes turned deadly. The gloves came off, and suddenly every word sliced like a blade. Gutfeld's humor became surgical, his sarcasm honed into weapons of precision, and Tyrus followed with silent, thunderous presence. Newsom wasn't being debated anymore. He was being dissected in front of a live audience. What started as a roast had become a political autopsy, and the results were damning. Gutfeld began listing California's disasters like reading a crime report. Exploding homelessness that makes tent cities look permanent. Small businesses fleeing the state like it's on fire, and crime so rampant it could pass for a Netflix thriller. Then came the taxes, so punishing even billionaires whisper sweet nothings to Texas realtors. And there was Newsom, still grinning like a man running for Mr. America 2028, pretending none of it was his fault. He acted as if chanting equity into a microphone could erase the suffering right outside his window. But the audience wasn't buying it.
Look, he's blinking, and then eventually the camera guy, realizing that he's signaling him, so he gets appalled, leans back, camera comes down, and then we're back to this. I'll do this for you, you do this for me a little. So he's saying whatever he's going to say. There it is, see? They couldn't hold him back. He's like, I'm not on film. Oh, I'm not, nope. Bring my hands up, bring them up, bring them up, bring them up, bring them up. He's playing with us. Meet me at my house. You get mine. I get yours. It'll work out.
Greg Gutfeld didn't hold back. He practically shoved a mirror in Newsom's face and said, "Here, campaign with this." It wasn't political commentary anymore. It was an intervention live on national TV. Just when you thought it couldn't get more intense, in walked Tyrus, calm, collected, towering like a storm disguised as a man. Built like a linebacker, but speaking like a philosopher, he didn't need to raise his voice. His truth landed heavier than any shout could. The energy in the room shifted. It was like a weather warning had just dropped. Every sentence from Tyrus carried the weight of reality, sharp and undeniable. He didn't rant, he reasoned, slicing through spin with surgical calm. He called out the crumbling education system, the suffocating business climate, and the cold bureaucracy strangling opportunity. California, he said, wasn't leading anymore. It was bleeding, and no amount of press conferences could hide it. The audience could feel it, and even through the screen, so could Newsom.
Evil, then the Dems are now the party of disorder. Turns out the only system they had was wokeism, and it rotted any basic principles the party had to begin with. Which is why, like Gavin himself, they're left looking at 2028's hopes going up in flames. And this time, no one is going to help them put it out.
Phony. I'm totally weird. Gavin's hands. It's time for Gavin's hands.
He keeps his hands in motion and his hair full of lotion. True, Gavin's views may be idiotic, but his hands moves, well, they're hypnotic. California Governor Newsom's new podcast is out. It's available wherever fine hair care products are.
And what was Newsom's grand response to all of it? More press conferences, more polished photo ops, more empty slogans crafted for social media applause. Tyrus didn't need theatrics. His words landed like a falling piano, sudden, deafening, and impossible to ignore. He spoke softly, but each line hit like a headline. Undeniable, unspinnable truth. You could almost see the sweat forming under those studio lights as Newsom's composure cracked. His usual calm was gone. What remained was a man exposed, stripped of the armor that vanity had built. Tyrus dismantled the illusion piece by piece, not just the policies, but the persona. That overstyled, underdelivering brand of leadership built on appearances, applause, and nothing real. Then came the tag team, Gutfeld and Tyrus together, moving in perfect sync, like a demolition crew, tearing down the glossy facade of California's golden governor. You could almost hear a WWE bell ringing in the background, but this wasn't scripted. It was painfully, gloriously real. Gutfeld roasted him like a failed magician, pulling tax hikes out of thin air, while Tyrus handed out reality checks with the finality of eviction notices. And there stood Gavin, frozen, blinking, utterly outmatched.
Have gone tremendously to the right on this issue in 2024 and 2025 versus where they were in 2020. Closest to or trust more in immigration. You go back to 2020. Democrats, get this, held a 32-point lead on this issue. Immigrant voters were in the Democratic camp. Jump forward to 2024, 2025. Look at that shift, a 40-point shift to the right among immigrant voters. Republicans now lead on this issue by 8 points over Democrats.
It makes sense. If you waited your turn, why would you be happy about a bunch of jerks cutting the line? So why are the Dems and the media shocked by this? Well, because unlike the left, immigrants don't shout their beliefs every time there's a break in conversation. Hell, I rarely even flex my muscles unless it's a conversation about my muscles.
There he stood, frozen, flawless, and completely unprepared for the wrecking ball of truth that had just smashed through his image. What started as comedy quickly morphed into accountability, live on air. This wasn't the usual Fox News chuckle segment. It was a two-man demolition show, tearing down the glittering illusion the media had been polishing for years. Gutfeld and Tyrus weren't being cruel. They were performing a public service, finally stripping the shine off a myth too long left unchecked. They peeled away the Gavin Newsom persona layer by layer, like wallpaper in a forgotten mansion. Glossy on top, crumbling beneath. The smiles, the speeches, the grand performances at fancy dinners. All meaningless if the foundations are rotten. You can serve soup at a gala, Gutfeld said with a smirk, but if there's a rat floating in it, someone's got to speak up. The crowd roared, stunned and delighted, as he drove home. The punchline, Bon appetit, California. The message was clear. Leadership isn't about image, it's about results. And this night, the facade had finally cracked open for everyone to see.
Impersonator. Do you think after this riot fest, he is still an option for 2028?
Yeah, he just has to keep. He thinks he's going to charm people over by just kind of agreeing with them. He'll start every sentence. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. They'll make a point. He has people on his podcast. They destroy his point of view. I appreciate that. And I'm going to look at that. I'm going to have a look at that. I can't even believe. There's so many good things in that monologue, Greg. I love that clip of CNN. I can't believe they have that guy. It's like self-flagellation.
It's noisy in this city.
Yeah.
Charlie, is he talking with his hands, or is this some kind of distraction maneuver?
I think, okay, well, I'm Italian, and I talk with my hands. I'm doing it right now. They have lives of their own. And I have never seen someone to the extent that Gavin Newsom just spoke with his hands do anything like that. So, I mean, congratulations, I suppose. Diversion tactic, yes, maybe. Because you think if people are so focused on his hands, they're not listening to what he's.
Greg didn't just show up with jokes. He came armed with receipts. Every word carried proof. Every jab backed by numbers that couldn't be spun. Sure, California's GDP looks impressive in a spreadsheet, but the reality outside those graphs? Middle-class families Googling how to survive without selling a kidney. It was brutal honesty, the kind of truth no one on Newsom's team wanted trending. Gutfeld laid it bare. Wall Street might be smiling, but Main Street is bleeding. And then came the knockout blow. He mocked the irony of Newsom parading around as some green energy savior, while wildfires turned half the state into a dystopian inferno every summer. It's hard to preach about saving the planet when your own backyard's literally burning. Gutfeld skewered the performative climate photo ops, the shiny smiles, the sound bites, the hashtags, all while smoke choked the skyline. And just when you thought he was done, he twisted the knife deeper, calling out the corporate hypocrisy. Newsom talks tough about big business until a billionaire lands in town. Then suddenly, it's cameras flashing, handshakes, and grins. Because nothing says, man of the people, like sipping champagne at an invite-only summit with the 1%.
So Newsom is fed up with tent cities, the crime, the urban decay? No, he's not mad about that stuff. He's mad you noticed. It's like a criminal telling a jury he's sorry he robbed 25 banks when he's just sorry he got caught on the 26th. Because this isn't some spontaneous crisis. It's a man-made disaster like Chernobyl or Fox and Friends. And
They like the show, okay?
And the man who made it acts like he had nothing to do with it.
Yeah.
It's pure government grift, shoving you down a flight of stairs and then making you pay for the handrail. We've been lied to for years that homelessness is all about affordable housing.